Alrighty, that should be pretty good. I think we're now live, hopefully with some luck. Yes, I think we are. We're good. Just waiting for this to load up here. Hopefully it does. It says we're live. We're just trying to work out. Welcome back. This is Fantasy Premier League Game Week 20 deadline day stream. Still waiting. That's handy. That's come up that it does look like we're good to go. Just going to quickly adjust that so I can actually have a bit more viewing. I'm not sure why it's being retarded.
Morning, everyone.
All right. Yep.
Happy Saturday morning.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're definitely live. All right. Very good. All right. Got there eventually. Fresh off the bands over Christmas. How was your Christmas?
Yeah, it was good. It was good, mate. It was just it was quite relaxed. Just had my aunt over for Christmas, and then New Year's done the same. Nice and quiet. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, mate. It was just relaxed one. What about you?
Well, yeah, it wasn't too bad. I enjoyed going to the missus' place for Christmas, and then obviously went up to Manchester on the Saturday.
Yeah,
Less said about that game of football, the better.
yeah.
Wasting my money, wasting my time. I don't know what else.
Well, listen,
you
you chose to support them, mate.
Mm.
So it's your own fault. And you can't just support them in the good times, can you?
No, sadly you can't. You can't. And yeah.
Do you think you're going to turn it around? Do you think it's going to end up relegation? That would be insulting to Ferguson.
It's so funny. So many people are sitting there going, "Would you prefer Manchester United to like some Man United supporters actually think it'd be good if we went down?" I was like, "How can any supporter think it would be good for their team to be relegated?"
Yeah, no, that's insane. Look, you'll turn it around. You will turn it around. I just think Man United are going to be a great option for the assistant managership.
They are. I would 100% agree with that.
Maybe this is his plan. Maybe his plan is to get us right to get you guys right down the table so that you can use the assistant managership for him.
Yeah.
That's his plan. That's exactly why he's losing all these games, 100%.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with you lot being shit.
Well, yeah. Other than the fact that we actually are. So
what is the problem then? The problem with Man United is can't put the ball in the back of the net.
That's right. They can't.
So you need a striker there, didn't you?
I was sitting there. So did you see any of the highlights from that game?
No, I didn't. But I tell you what highlights I did see. Berbatov. I did see highlights of Berbatov.
Mate, he's quality.
Mate, he was top draw, mate.
He could actually do more than what they're doing at the currently
speaking. His touch was insane. Literally, it was like the ball was stuck to his foot. So good.
Joshua Xerxes, though, got booed off.
Did he?
Booed off at halftime. He didn't even see out the half. He lasted 32 minutes. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Pretty bad. What a shit signing he's been.
How was the rest of your time in Manchester? You went to the warehouse project.
Yeah, I did. I went to the warehouse project. It was pretty good. I did the deadline stream for like 45 minutes on ahead of game week 19. I think I was still pinging from the night.
What? So you did it the morning after?
Yeah. I woke up, I set an alarm. I went to bed at like 5 a.m. This event finished at 3. We walked home. I was just chilling. I was like, I'll set an alarm. I'll see if I can get up. I got up and I managed to whack out 49 minutes. The people that joined absolutely loved the 49 minutes, but I was pretty devoid of any sort of energy. Today I've got a lot more energy, which is great. We're going to get into the FPL now and things we got. The cat is here for the live predictions when we get into the live predictions of the week. So keep your eye out for that. It has secretly told me early on.
His name is Squid, not it.
Right, Squid. Squid Game has escaped the Squid Game, and he has told me that Trent is going to score an own goal this week. Just an early shout out. So some of the things we have to talk about for today. What captain do you lock in ahead of game week 20? Now, there has been a little bit of rumours that there's going to be a little bit of snow up north, and people going, oh, maybe the one game that might be affected might be Liverpool Man United. I don't believe that nonsense. The game will definitely go ahead. And I still think that Mo Salah is definitely the captain to pick this week.
Yeah, look, the temperatures doesn't drop below 0. So most of the stadiums and stuff are fine. I think it's just transport. Usually you'd only get games cancelled because of transport and stuff. And I think they're fine. The times as well is okay.
If they're worried about the fans coming from Manchester, I think they'll quite happily stay at home and have a refund of the ticket. So I don't think that should take in any consideration about that. Yeah. not even me. I looked at like buying an away ticket just because I always wanted to go to Liverpool away. But trust me, after going to the Bournemouth game at home and the Newcastle game at home, there is no way you could sell me a ticket to go to Anfield and get belted probably what's going to be like 5 or so nil.
Yeah, I think that game will be fine. But look, it's not going to be. Everyone's going to do exactly the same thing. If you've got Salah, you captain Salah,
Yep.
and if you have and your vice captain is going to be Palmer.
Yep.
So
Now he does have an unbelievable record against Manchester United. I think
does
it is one of his favourite teams to play against. He scored 17 points earlier this season from a goal and 2 assists at Old Trafford when Liverpool played him off the park 3-0 essentially. I can't see any way that he doesn't get a big return here.
No, I don't. I can't disagree with you. I think he will. He's in amazing form. He's playing so well. Manchester United are wounded. It's going to be. They're just going to absolutely go to town on them.
Yeah. And Mike Oliver, I don't know why he is reffing this game because he doesn't like Bruno Fernandes. I actually think if you want a sneaky bet, even though I'm playing Bruno Fernandes in my team this week, put money on him getting a red card tomorrow because I reckon there's a strong likelihood he could.
A red card.
Yeah. Well, he's been sent off 3 times already this season.
Yeah, but
Michael
surely
Oliver
not.
does not like Bruno Fernandes. He does not like him. I reckon there's a strong likelihood he'll get booked tomorrow. At least a yellow. He might not get sent off.
I think his captain armband's in question. I think that Amaron's looking at leaders. I think
Yeah.
he's looking in leaders.
Not many of them.
Yeah, exactly. And he's looking at who can be a leader, and getting sent off and not having discipline is not being a leader. Like, you need to be calm, you need to be controlled. So I don't, he's not going to get sent off. He might get a yellow card or whatever, but he's not going to be stupid enough to get him sent off. And if he does get himself sent off, he's an idiot and he'll lose his captain armband. Who do you think they'll give it to? Maguire?
Oh, they wouldn't give it back. I mean, they just extended his contract
Well,
for next season.
Maybe Fernandez on his way out.
It'd be a short-term solution. Look, there is a lack of leaders at Man United. Of that, there is definitely no denying. I mean, the fact that they get so easily walked over by certain teams just beggars belief, really, more than anything else. All right, do we need a Man City attacker? Now, the last 2 weeks, we have seen Phil Foden finally got an assist. So, I mean, 6 points last week wasn't ideal for me. Erling Haaland finally returned with a goal last week after being well overdue a goal, but it was only one. But the pick of the team last week was actually Savio. Got a goal and assist, double figure haul. Only cost 6.4, 6.5 mil. I can't remember which one it is. I did look earlier in the week. I think it's 6.4. Is he worth a shout? Are any of them worth a shout? They have West Ham up at home today. Then they've got Brentford away at the G-Tech next week. And then they've got Ipswich at home.
Would you think
So
that he's going to
decent
stay in the
fixtures.
team? Or do you think he'll get rotated?
This is the problem. Pep roulette is a real thing. But, like, sure, you play the players that are in form. Like, Phil Foden, I would argue, is in form. Savio's in form. De Bruyne played 90 minutes, did nothing. I don't think he backs up 90 minutes and 90 minutes. So, for me, I feel like if there's a player that's going to be rotated out, it's probably going to be De Bruyne. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a West Ham team that offer nothing going attacking-wise. Jared Bowen's now out for the next month with a fractured foot. So, West Ham's chances of scoring this game have just dropped drastically.
Yeah.
So I think if you've got a Man City player, you play him because I think they're going to win. I just don't know by how many. But I can't see West Ham getting any kind of result.
Yeah, I think with Bowen out, they're really going to struggle to score goals. But will Man City score goals? That's the thing. Will they? I mean, this could be the week where Haaland gets his hat trick again.
Could be. I mean, Haaland has been.
If they start running through that midfield and he's just at the end, if they get through the midfield and Bowen's not there and stuff, and they're just running through them in the middle, and Haaland's in the right place, it could be a couple of goals.
I agree. 100%.
Foden's the man for doing that, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's why I feel like, as I said 2 weeks ago when Saka went down, I looked at the fixtures and thought, stuff it. Phil Foden punt. Like, it's either going to pay off massively or it's going to drop my rank. So at the moment, it's dropped my rank to about 50,000 because realistically, I could have picked so many other players that have performed better than him in the 2 weeks. So he's got 8 points over 2 weeks for me so far.
Right, here's a
I'm
prediction.
banking it in.
Here's the
He's
prediction.
going to come good for me, hopefully.
I reckon Haaland hat trick. I reckon Haaland hat trick. I reckon Foden assists. I think this is the week.
It's
This is
got to
the
be.
week it's going to be big.
And I was like, there's 1 week where they just score like, if they score 5 or 6, it's going to be a massive week.
And then
For any person that
yeah,
owns a Man City player, it's going to be a massive week.
yeah. And everyone's going to start jumping on Haaland again, jumping on his nutsack, going, "Oh, Haaland's amazing," when they didn't have him for ages.
Yeah.
But which will then mix things up because then you can't have Salah, you can't have Haaland, Salah, Palmer.
I reckon a lot of people would. I reckon if Haaland scored a hat
They'll
trick
get rid
today,
of Palmer.
Palmer's gone.
Palmer's gone.
Because he has been well, in comparison, he's only returned once in
Yeah.
the last 4
Do you
games.
know what? That's the prediction. Haaland hat trick. Palmer will get transferred out. Everyone's going to bring in Haaland. That's what happened. People have been chasing points this season.
They have.
Chasing points.
I can't believe how many the yo-yo of like. So for example, this was done. The one dud transfer I've done all season was last week, and I think the reason why I did it, I did my team selection video when I transferred Cunha in when I was drinking prior to going out to the warehouse project, and it was the dumbest decision I've done all season long. I was sitting there and I was like, just having a few vodkas, few waters, getting a little bit pissed, and then I was like going, man, everyone's bringing Cunha. Cunha's destroyed me the last 3 weeks. He's got 9, 9, and 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like going, he's playing against a Tottenham team that have no centre backs.
Yeah.
This reeks of like another massive haul. If I just sat there and just like, no, I'm going to think about it overnight, I probably wouldn't have made a transfer last week. If anything, I would have transferred in Chris Wood last week, who got 12 points. Or I would have left it and João Pedro would have got me 9. Instead, I transferred in Cunha, who got me 1. And then this week I wasted transfer, fixing the problem I did for myself last week. So that's what happens. Do not drink and make any transfers. It's dumb.
And
All right, first question.
there it is, ladies and gentlemen. What FPL does to you. I shoulda, woulda, coulda. I wish I'd done this. I should have done that. It happens to everyone, even the D unit.
It does.
Do you know what? I'm glad that you can see your bad moves, your failings.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of us mere mortals.
I know. First dud call of the season for me last week, and it resulted in my worst red arrow of the year. Philippus, how are you, buddy? Happy New Year to you and your family too. Will Lewis start today against West Ham? I would think so.
Yeah.
I can't see him not starting. I mean, the Man City's defense, I know Kyle Walker came off the bench last week, but I wouldn't have thought they'd want to be risking him against a West Ham team who are unlikely to score many goals. So for me, I feel like Lewis should be starting. And if you've got him, I would 100% be playing him and then just make sure you've got bench cover in case he does start on the bench.
Yeah.
That would be my advice to that one.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. All right, so Cunha call last week was horrible. Is he a sell? Like he's only going to be banned for this game week because his other game is actually the FA Cup.
Yeah, FA Cup. No.
But the fixtures we'll get into shortly are not good. So after this week, they say misses the Nottingham Forest game, and then it's into like Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool. It's a horrible run.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean these teams can't concede goals.
Yes, I agree.
Chelsea have mistakes in them. Yep. Man City have, just come off the back of a losing streak. Arsenal defence will probably be a bit tricky, but I don't think that I don't necessarily think that that he can't score goals. But it just might be 1 or 2, But if they're going to score, it's going to be him, right?
Yeah, that's it. 100%. I'm just going to quickly check what's going on here.
Yeah, I think hold him. See what happens. I mean, you don't want to get rid of players until they start dropping out of form and stuff.
I agree.
Or you see somebody else that's coming into form or has good fixtures and you rotate. But who would you replace him with then?
So I still think that Isaac and Jackson are still the 2 best forwards. Now, lots of people are selling Jackson because Maresca, the idiot, thought, let's rotate against a weaker team, and he got absolutely found out. So I think that's the last time we're going to see rotation like that from Maresca. Maybe unless they play Southampton again. But other than that, I think he's learned his lesson. Surely he's learned his lesson.
Yeah, well, we'll see this week. Isaac, you definitely need to have in your team, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, he's incredible. So yeah, Isaac in the team definitely. Yeah, I really like Jackson, but I mean, I think let's see what happens this week with Haaland because I reckon Haaland's going to go to town.
Yeah, no. So Philip has got back to us. Thanks. I only have Burgess on my bench. Timber has 1 match suspension, and Ahmad's on my bench as well. Yep. Look, I looked at trading out Ahmad this week for Rodgers, because I saw Ahmad was going to drop in price, and he did drop in price. But then I was like, in my head, I was like, going, I look at the fixtures next week, and Rogers has Arsenal, and Ahmad has Southampton. So in my mind, I was like, going, well, I was always going to play
Yeah.
Ahmad on the bench this week, regardless. So Ahmad is now starting on the bench this week, and he'll come on against Southampton next week when Chris Wood has Liverpool, by the way. So Chris Wood's going to sit on the bench for me next week, probably burn me. But I've got to play those players against Southampton. Then I've also got Timber. I'm a bit like Philippus. I've got that problem as well. So Timber's sitting on my bench this week. I have better cover those. So Hall's coming into my team for Timber. But I'd play Lewis and be pretty comfortable with Lewis being fine there. All right, what does Ben say? Morning. After Spurs news, I'll be doing Enzo to Gordon unless Foden is
On the bench.
leaked on the bench. Ooh, okay. I don't think we're going to find out about any benchings before that game. That's a 3 o'clock kickoff.
It's not a bad shout by Ben, really, because I think that there definitely will be goals at Tottenham.
Oh yeah, they've got so many. So that they've had all the injuries, right? So Udoggy's out now as well. So
Yeah.
he's done a hammy. So
Yeah.
I think they've got Dragusin and maybe Pedro Porro, and
They've
then
got Porro, and that's it. But it's
Archie Gray probably, and he's useless as a defender.
well, apparently there's sickness in the team as well.
Yeah, James Madison went to the darts and he came back and gave everyone a pug.
What a nightmare.
He was out there with Brendan Johnson, and some Spurs fan said, "Oh, mate, we're in shit form, and you're going to the darts." And James Madison responded like, "And?" Or something along those lines. I've probably exaggerated the truth there a little bit, but essentially, Spurs are in shit form. Newcastle going to do well. I was quite happy because I had a benching headache.
No Son.
No Son as well. Yeah, well, look.
They're toast.
Yeah, they're cactus.
The thing is, Tottenham scored goals.
No wonder people were trying to sell me Tottenham tickets today because of the fact that.
Who was trying to sell you Tottenham
Oh,
tickets?
so I was trying to get a couple of tickets because I was like, what are we going to do today? I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe we can go to the Tottenham Newcastle game so we can watch Isaac, who looked amazing against Man United. I think that Isaac, I've got to change my vice captain because I think that Isaac's probably the best vice captain
Yeah.
based on the fact that Tottenham can't defend. They have one of the worst defenses in the league. Half their defenders are out. There's a bug going through their squad. And they play Ange ball that is not good ball.
Yeah, yeah. I think this will be a massive week for Newcastle, and I think that Tottenham, yeah, they scored goals. I don't know how many they've scored this season. I think they're like second or something in the league for the amount of goals scored. But they've got no defense. They've got no Son. Madison's been at the darts. So this is the week that they're going to get absolutely ripped apart.
Ironically, if you do have Madison, I mean, even though that apparently he's one of the ones that has come down with a bit of a bug, I think I would hold him because if there's a game where this man is ever going to start, it's today because Bentancur is suspended, and whenever Bentancur's been suspended, James Madison has started. So if I was a Madison owner, I'd probably hold him and play him today because I feel like if he isn't sick, and if he's sick, he's not going to play anyway, and then hopefully you've got someone on your bench to cover him. But if he does play, he's going to be starting from the start. I think, generally speaking, that's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you spend big on defense or you target the cheap defenders? Now, as I was talking about, one of the blokes in the league, Reese, he had his team and he's had Haaland in it until now, and he's realised his mistakes in life.
Well, he took Haaland out.
Well, I took it out for him. So that
Oh,
lineup
Reece.
I created yesterday, I was like, God, he didn't have Salah.
It was
This
a
dude's been taking on Salah all season.
Yeah,
He's
but it
just
was a
getting
wild,
burned.
but it was a wild card.
It was originally it was going to play his free hit. I was like, no, mate, that lasts 1 week.
Yeah.
So I was like, the wild card draft we put together, I actually thought was pretty good. Like there weren't
No,
many
it did
players.
look good. It did look good. It did look good. I mean, the thing is, you need a spread of players, and I think you've got to pull off the band-aid at some point. If you've been going without Salah, you've just got to bite the bullet and just get him in. But it's always the way with people. You bring him in, and then he gets a blank, doesn't he? So, but I think the wild card draft looked good. I think it's a good spread. The only thing was Raul, but
I mean, yeah,
still not a bad fixture, is it?
well, yeah, it shouldn't be. I mean, Raul Jimenez you would expect to be starting today, and they've got Ipswich at home. You'd think even if he started on the bench, it'd be a good chance of scoring a goal in that game when he comes on. So
Yeah.
that's just the way I look at it there. So do you need players playing 90 minutes every week? I think you do. Now, some people we have seen over game weeks 18 and 19, people being rotated out, like James Madison starting on the bench. Luis Diaz starting on the bench. Jota's starting on the bench. All these people. Jackson even getting rotated to the bench. It's frustrating when you see it and you get annoyed and then they come on and they grab your 1 point. There's nothing more frustrating in fantasy than seeing your players start on the bench, come on and grab your 1 point. All right, they have a game. Goalkeeper was 26 and never played for them. Last play. Oh, yes, that's right. So Ben Forster Fraser Forster, that's his name. He's not going to be playing today. The goalkeeper's out for Spurs. So they've got some youth, like some bloke that's never played in goals in Premier League before, playing in goal as well.
Well, you know what?
Good luck to him. Really good captaincy
Good luck to him. I hope he has a good game.
Yep. All right, this is my team so far. All right, so let's have a look. Game week 20. Henderson in goal. Yeah, it's not. I don't mind that. Lewis, Hall, Colwill. Man, Colwill burnt me so hard last week. Did you know that I benched Hall for Colwill last week? Colwill got 0. Hall got 12 points. Stranded on my bench. That was the reason why I got a down arrow last week. Salah, Palmer, Eze, Gordon, JP. Who's JP?
Oh, the Palace one, isn't it? Jean-Paul Mattel.
Oh, yep. Wood and Jesus. Yep, I like it. João Pedro. João Pedro. That's what it is. João Pedro. Oh, mate, I'm having a blank. Oh, yeah.
Palace in my brain.
Oh, look. João Pedro is one of them weird players. Like, so Welbeck and Ferguson have been confirmed out in the Brighton team. So João Pedro is 100% playing at number 9 today. There's no one else that can play there for Brighton. And look, he got 2 assists last week. One of them was very lucky, but you know, if he's going to be playing 90 minutes, and if they can score against Arsenal, he's probably going to be involved. So I don't mind it. But the midfield's lovely, like Salah, Palmer, Eze, and Gordon, banging. I love Eze as a pick.
Yeah,
I told you that Eze was the pick last week. I was sitting there and I said, all these people sitting there working out whether it was Ismaila, Sarr, or Eze. And I've always said that Eze is the better pick, even though he costs 0.7 million more. That man, when he is fit and he's available, is so much better. Yo, hi Benji, how are you? Subscribe. Thanks, buddy. Thank you very much. Love it. Welcome to the family. We do have a WhatsApp group. I don't know if the link is in the description. And the league code is in there as well. I'll also put it in the top, LDV6FK, if you want to join the league. Yeah, we're always trying to hopefully grow. It's a new channel this season and it's growing fairly quickly, in fairness, so it's been great. Lastly, who does the pick to replace Cunha if you aren't holding? So we're going to jump in that in a sec. I'm going to whack out some numbers for everyone to have a look at, and you can make your own decision. But I traded Cunha for Wood. That is what I've done. And do you hold players on suspension like Timber and Rogers? My answer to that is yes. All right, I'm thinking of doing Bruno to Eze, João Pedro to Wood, and Mazarawi to Sir Lewis Hall.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome.
Hey,
you literally put awesome as well. That's great.
Yeah, that is. I don't mind it. That's really good. Yeah, I'd agree. João Pedro to Wood. I love that. Wood is the pick, yeah, man. Trust me, earlier in the season, we had this discussion. My player of the season so far is Chris Wood. And the reason why that is at the start of the year, Alan and I were sitting there, we were talking before discussing our teams, and Alan's like going, oh, Munez has looked really good. And I was like going, you know what? I'm just going to take a punt on Chris Wood. I don't know why. And like the Woody Woodpecker has just popped. And like, I was so sad to see him out of my team, but it made sense when I got rid of him, and he did get a couple of holes. I think he got 2 holes during that time. I didn't have him in my team. And this week I was like, mate, you got 12 points. It's time to get the Wood back.
Yeah.
It's time to get the Woody Woodpecker back. So Woody the Woodpecker is going to be getting me some more wood. I'm very happy about that. What are your thoughts about the Liverpool game? Looks 50-50 to get cancelled with the snow and ice breaking.
Nah.
No chances. It won't get cancelled. Don't believe the hype about that. There's a little bit of snow, but Anfield's fine. And trust me, the Manchester United fans, me being one of them, couldn't care 2 shits if we can't get to the game because we know we're going to lose anyway. Sar's numbers are looking good, but Eze has more routes to points. I bought Eze last week and Wood this game week. FPL is all about luck. Yes, it is a big part about luck. All right, let's get into what the team is looking like this week.
The only reason I didn't bring in Eze was because I wanted Trent.
You did. And look, I've been taking on Trent all week, so let's pop into how my team's looking for this week. All right, so that's my team currently, and I did have Cunha in, but Cunha has become Wood, and we're going to have a quick look at all the forwards now for all those people that are watching along. So we're going to go into the transfers and have a look at the forwards. And this is how I would rate them for this game week. So at the top, obviously, if you do not own this man and you are continuously taking him on, I'm going to quickly blow that up so it's a little bit bigger so everyone can see a bit more. All right, that should be a bit better. 110. All right, so Isaac is definitely the pick, owned by 51.8% of the competition, 9.2 million. I bought him and he cost 8.4. He's now made me 0.4, and I've got so much team value tied up in Isaac. It's amazing. But look at these returns. The last 6 weeks, 7 points. He should have scored against Man United more than once.
Yeah.
In that first half, he missed a glorious opportunity. That should have been a double. So that's why he only got 1 bonus point, and Lewis Hall scored all 3. Aston Villa, 8 points, goal. 3 goals, the hat-trick against Ipswich. First ever hat-trick, 17 points. 11, 1 goal and assist against Leicester. 1 goal against Brentford for 8. And then 1 goal, 1 assist against Liverpool for 11. Since game week 14, I bought him in wildcard in game week 12. Didn't actually play him in the Crystal Palace game. And then I've just reaped the rewards ever since. I jumped on so early. I was so happy. I've milked it for all it's worth. Yes, I do watch the cricket. Australia are currently got India on the ropes, I think, if they can bring it back. I'm not sure if they can bring it back, but I'm hoping that they can. Sarzam good. Let's have a look what else we got. So Isaac is definitely the best. Now, outside of Isaac, lots of people have been talking about Ollie Watkins this week. Now, the problem I've got with Ollie Watkins, yes, he's going to start this week, and he does have Leicester at home, which does look beautiful. The problem I have with Ollie Watkins is that he is reliant on Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers is suspended for this game. I would argue that Leon Bailey, who's likely to come in for Morgan Rogers, is nowhere near as good as a footballer, which makes me think that Ollie Watkins won't have the same service he's used to. The next problem I have is that Duran is back off suspension for game week 21. And he did start. If we have a look at the minutes for Watkins, since game week 15 when he had that knock or whatever, he started on the bench 4 games in a row and Duran started all 4 games. So my problem is that Duran's back off suspension for the Everton game. Is this a real short-term punt? Are we likely to see Duran come back into the team and Ollie Watkins drop back to the bench? Because if he does, he's not a go. He's not worth the money. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. It's going to be a great test match. It could be over in 3 days, to be fair. Doc, hi, lads. Thoughts on doing Rogers to Gordon with 1 free move, but that means I'll have to bench Konza against Leicester at home or simply start Konza and roll. What's the rest of your team looking like, Doc? That's what I want to know. I would keep Rogers. If you're asking my personal opinion, Rogers, if we have a look here, I'm already on the Aston Villa fixture run. So Rogers obviously misses the Leicester at home game. Comes in for the Everton away game. I think that's perfectly fine playing Rogers there. 22 is not ideal against Arsenal, but if Arsenal are going to concede, Rogers is probably going to be involved. But then he's got West Ham, Wolves, and Ipswich. That's why I want Rogers in my team for those 3 weeks. So, like, ideally, I play Ahmad against Southampton and Brighton in 21 and 22 for me, and then he becomes Rogers for 23 when he's got West Ham. Yeah. Just whack it in the comments, man. Just put it in there, type it out, and we'll happily have a look at it. Yeah. Yeah, I really like Rogers. I would probably be leaning to holding. Yeah, in that case, I'd just leave Rogers. Yeah, if you've already got a bench, you're like me, mate. On most weeks, have a look at my bench. So this is my squad. And I'll just zoom out a little bit so everyone can see the full squad. So this is my full squad. Now, every week, I end up with a benching headache in my defense because I have Timber, Kirkes, Colwill, Robinson, and Hall. 5 different defenses, and like I've actually stuffed this up. 2 of the last 4 weeks, I have missed out on Hall's 15 points and Hall's 12 points on my bench until the last 4 game weeks. It's absolutely hurt me. I'm 27 points worse off because both times I had 8 Nori in my team the first time and he got 0.
Good.
and then the other last week I had Colwill starting and Hall starting on the bench. So I hate benching headaches. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's better to have benching headaches for when games are called off or people randomly miss out through illness or injury. Then you've got a good bench. I prefer a benching headache than not having a benching headache.
Yeah.
That's just the way I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's have a look at Anthony Gordon. Now, this is someone I have considered myself. And look, if I was on wildcard, I'll quickly show you what I would do if I was on wildcard and what draft I'd be coming up with the team value I've got. Now, Anthony Gordon has been amazing since game week 13. So since game week 13, he's blanked once since game week 13. He's got 5, 8, 1, 6, 6, 10, 6.
Gordon's quality.
He is. He's quality. He's always involved. And he's back playing on the left, which is brilliant as well. He just looks really good. Newcastle in general look really good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in hot form. I mean, they smoked Man United 2-0, smoked Villa 3-0, Ipswich 4-0, Leicester 4-0, Brentford they lost 4-2, but that was at the G-Tech. They drew 3-all with Liverpool. They're in a really good run of form. All right, he's got Verbruggen, Fabianski, Gabriel, Robertson, Castagna, Hall, O'Shea. So O'Shea's always on the bench. Eze, Salah, Palmer, and Mbeumo, Rogers, Wood, Gabriel, Jesus, and it's a pretty good team. What do you ranked in the game, Benji? You must have a pretty high ranking with that team, I would have thought. So this week I'd be benching. So he's in the position I'd be in. So like Amat, who probably joined later on, he's currently ranked number 300 in the world, and he has Dan Burn, Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's got Lewis Hall, and then he's got Castagna and Robinson.
Yeah.
And I think that he should be playing double Fulham defense this week with Trent. But at the moment he's thinking of playing double Newcastle defense and Trent. Or if he wanted to be safe, I'd just split 1 and 1 and go Robinson and Hall.
Do you know what? Whatever Amat thinks he should do, being 300 in the world, I think he should do that.
Yeah, he's been banging it.
Do you know what? Botman's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Botman's coming back.
I said that to him. I was like, Botman's back, but Shah's suspended for this game.
Yeah.
What's he saying? Yeah, I agree. Gordon is really good this week. The fixtures don't like that. That Tottenham team, why they are still rated 4 on the fixture difficulty rating, I've got absolutely no clues at all. Because, let's be honest, Tottenham is shit. Hey, cheers. Thanks, Doc. Another sub. Thank you very much. Keep them coming, boys. Yeah, Gordon's run is so good after this week. Spurs away, obviously, they are not a difficult team to play against. I don't know why they're rated 4 on the fixture difficulty rating. FPL need to sort that out post-haste. They are more like a green team at the moment defensively. Maybe attacking-wise, for like defenders, they should be a red team still because Tottenham do score goals. But for defense, I think they should just be the other way around. Yeah, cheers, man. Wolves, Bournemouth, Southampton, and Fulham, though. Next 4 fixtures look unbelievably good for Newcastle.
Yeah, they do look really good.
There'll be plenty of goals there, especially at home. They're so good at St. George's Park. Is it St. George's? St. James's? St. James's?
St. James's Park.
St. James's Park. I knew I got it wrong. There we go. Yeah. He looks really good. So, look, it is definitely somewhere you could go. Now, someone else that's really interesting in this list, I have to go a bit further down to find him. Now, lots of people were talking about Ismaila Sarr versus Eze. Now, Sarr was very unlucky last week to only get 2 points. Did you see the stats for him last week?
Nah.
0.35 expected goals, 0.6 expected assists, and got nothing.
Yeah.
That was like Ahmad against
Just
Bournemouth.
explain it. You know when it says 0.35, right?
Yeah.
So put that into layman's terms. What does that mean?
0.35 means the quality of the chance. So, for example, if you have a penalty.
So let's say it was 1. Let's say his XG is 1.
Yeah.
What does that?
That means he should have scored.
Right. So if it's a low number like 0.05, then he's rubbish.
Well, no, it just means the quality of the shot was a very hard shot to get in. So, for example, Trent Alexander-Arnold last week scored. I'll just pull this out for everyone that is paying attention, and hopefully this makes a little bit of sense. We'll just quickly go to defenders. This is why Trent was so lucky to return last week with that thing. So he scored off a 0.02 XG shot.
So that was a really hard shot.
It was a shot that shouldn't have gone in.
It shouldn't have gone in. So
but it got deflected and it went in.
But how do they work out these shots? And is it about being on target?
Yeah, so for example, a penalty is the best probable shot you can have, right? It's from 12 yards.
Yeah.
You just got the keeper to beat. The XG, I think, on the penalty is very close to 1, if not 1.
Yeah.
But if you're like from like 40 yards out, I don't know where Trent, I didn't actually see this goal.
It's mad they do these stats.
Yeah.
Who's doing these stats?
It's mad.
There's a really autistic person, no offense to autistic people, but there's somebody out there that's doing these stats.
All right, here we go. Another way. Hello, another way. I don't think I've seen you on the chat before. Munoz, Collins, Bruno, Iwobi, Pedro, play 3 of them. All right, Awebi's got a really nice fixture. I like him. Collins is playing for Brentford, and they've got Southampton away. I just feel like Southampton score in that game, so it makes me not want to play him. Munoz has Chelsea coming to Palace. Pedro's got Arsenal at home. I think I'd definitely play Iwobi and Bruno, and then the other one I don't know. Would you be playing 4 defenders or 3? That is the question. Because if you're playing 4 defenders, I'd err to playing 3, and that way it would be a straight shoot off between Munoz and Collins. And I think I'd back in Munoz because he has the better attacking threat. But Collins has Southampton. I mean, Southampton scored against Crystal Palace last week.
Yeah.
I feel like Munoz has the better attacking potential, which makes me lean more towards Munoz. Collins probably has more chance of keeping a clean sheet, but Brentford don't defend very well away from home, so that's why I think Munoz is better pick.
Munoz.
So I'd go Munoz, Bruno, and Iwobi, bench Pedro. The only reason why is because Bruno's on penalties. I know Pedro's on penalties as well, but Arsenal's defense are not going to give away a penalty. They'll probably give away one now.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, Trent last week scored off that 0.02 XG chance. That's absolute bollocks. So yeah, we'll go back to the midfielders and like what people are saying here. And obviously Eze, where's Eze? So Eze's numbers last week weren't as good as Ismail Assar's, but he returned right. So last week he scored off a 0.39 expected goals, 0.08 expected assists, but he returned. Got the goal, got 3 bonus points, looked amazing. And his minutes are back since he came back from that injury, 87, 85. They look good. And obviously Crystal Palace's run, like this week is a difficult week. They do have Chelsea at home. Chelsea often give away at least 1 goal because they just do stupid mistakes or whatever. But I think realistically, they're not too bad. Like from an attacking perspective, I feel like Chelsea will score, which makes me think that Crystal Palace are going to have to score some goals to actually do something here. Yeah, no, all good, man. Happy to help. Happy to help. If you haven't subbed already, please think about giving us a sub as well. But yeah, after next week, that Crystal Palace run, that's why I want to change Phil Foden next week. Leicester away, West Ham away, Brentford at home, Man United away, Everton at home, Fulham away, Villa at home, Ipswich at home. Through to 28, it's like 8 weeks of amazing fixtures.
Do you know what? If Man United lose today,
we're in trouble. No, tomorrow.
If Man United lose tomorrow, which let's face it, is probably going to happen, and Palace can win against Chelsea, we're going to go above you in the league.
I know. We could be like 16th, 17th by the end of this weekend.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Hey, Amateur, did you watch Trent play last week? It's literally like watching. Yeah, man, he has a quality right foot.
Do you know what?
His right foot's as good as my left.
David Beckham actually said, David Beckham was asked a question saying, who do you think plays most like you? And he actually said Trent.
Yeah, no, he's got the most unbelievable cross. The problem is that Liverpool.
Cross, did you see the cross in the last game? The way he hit that ball, he hit it, and it.
He's the bend on it.
Yeah, and the bend, and it just like bend. Like it was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so good.
Bruno Iwobi, Pedro. Yeah, see, I was like, the problem is I think he's got to play a defender, so it has to be either Munoz or Collins. That's what I would say. Start Enzo or Munoz. Matt, you answer that question, buddy. Hello, Jantu. I think another new name in the chat. Great to see.
Enzo or Munoz?
I'd start. Enzo's got the attacking potential. I always would prefer to start an attacker over a defender. That's just I've done that all season. I've literally played 3 defenders every single week because I think there's more chance of attackers returning than defenders this season.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
No, I agree.
So in that case, I'd be backing in Enzo.
Yeah,
he is, guy. He's so good. He's so good. Let's have a look at FPL Challenge this week. Have you had a look at your team yet for that, Alan?
Yeah, I've done it. I've done my team.
How'd you go last week? I went shithouse. 47 points.
What, for last week?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've done it. Did I do it last week?
I don't know. Let's have a look. Start João Pedro or Enzo. Oh, Vivek, another new person in the chat. Great to see, guys. We've João Pedro or Enzo. Oh, I think any Chelsea fans in the chat, are they going to start Enzo today? Are they going to score against Palace today? I think I'm still leaning towards starting Enzo over Pedro.
Enzo.
We just had Enzo over Munoz. I think I'd start Enzo there. I mean, Chelsea are travelling away from home. It is a Crystal Palace home game. João Pedro is playing at home against the best defence in the league in Arsenal. Enzo's playing against Crystal Palace. Definitely not the same kind of defence as an Arsenal defence. So that's why I think Enzo's been unlucky the last couple of weeks. His stats have been really good. I'll just quickly flick back to his stats 1 sec. And where is his stats? He's been super unlucky not to return the last few weeks. So Enzo last week, 0.93 expected goal involvement. The week before, 0.25. The week before, 0.34. He's been very unlucky the last 3 weeks not to get any attacking returns. So for me, I'd start with Enzo. Oh, good man. Happy to help you, Dick. Think about something if you haven't already. All right, so yeah, we've got Cole Palmer there. Back onto the FPL challenge. I haven't actually done this. New year, new chance. Big chances created are worth 5 additional points.
I think I've done this team actually. I did actually do it when I done my team. How do I get onto
Who plays long balls from the goals?
Right, so this is who I put. This is who I put.
All right, what did you put?
So I done Ortega in goal.
Ortega.
Yeah.
Oh, because they like punting it upfield, City. Yep.
Punting it up. Right. I done Alexander Arnold.
Yeah, I like that. Trent.
I done Hall.
Yeah, I like that as well.
In hindsight, I'm thinking actually now Gordon, but I done Salah and Palmer midfield.
Aina's got Wolves away.
I also done Aina.
So he looks all right. Aït-Nouri's got Nottingham. I don't like that.
And then I done Haaland, Isaac, and Wood up front.
Who also does really good crosses in the defence? Watch some of your videos, but this is my hey, well done, Lachlan. Thanks for joining, buddy. If you've got any questions, please whack them in. I love the fact you guys are watching them. Unfortunately, my videos haven't been the same quality as I normally make at home. My screen is a lot darker for some reason because I'm using the laptop, but I am in the UK at the moment, so I blame it. I blame that on that. What the hell? Why can't I find? All right, I see what the problem is here. Get rid of that. All right, Gabriel, what's he got? Brighton. He likes to make it a chance. Milenkovic. Guardiola I like against West Ham.
Yeah.
He has good goal threat. He generally heads the ball quite well as well. Ashley Young's a good shout. Robinson, though, against Ipswich, he looks banging. I think he's going to create a lot of chances there. In terms of the forwards, you probably want to line up in a different formation here. You probably want 3-4-1 because the forwards don't really create many chances. Now, if you after a player that does create a lot of chances for his midfield, it's actually Isaac. He's actually got really good assist potential from the forward line. Like he's super good in terms of creating chances and stuff like that. So I don't mind that. Now, if we go into the midfielders, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So let's have a look here. I reckon Mo Salah has to be in. Cole Palmer has to be in. Don't like any of them. Iwobi could be a shout. Gordon definitely looks good. I think you've got to play Gordon there. Semenyo, Ahmad, Damsgaard. Damsgaard actually looks not too bad, you know. He could be a cheeky shout. But I am backing. I know who I'm going to pick as my last one. Murphy, you know who I'm picking as my last person here?
What?
Is there unlimited budget for this?
I think so, yeah.
Phil Foden. Backing him in against West Ham, baby. He's in the main team. I'm backing him in. For this, though, we're going to make Mo Salah captain. There we go. Not Trent. Sorry, mate. Unlucky. I'm going to save that. All right. Save team. That's what it is. FPL challenge. That's the team right there. I like it. Looks really good. All right. So which 3 players do I bench out of Pedro, Sarr, Delap, Alanga, Munoz, or Dina? All right. Dina's got an easier fixture, but is he going to start? Delap, Sarr, Pedro. All right. So it's Liam Delap, who play Fulham, and João Pedro, who plays Arsenal. I'd probably play Pedro over Delap, only because of the fact that actually Delap might be on penalty. No, Delap's not on penalties for Ipswich. I'm pretty sure Pedro definitely is. So I'd probably play Pedro. In the midfield, it's either Sarr or Alanga. I'd probably play Alanga. Hold on, let me have a look at this. So go over here. Let's have a look at Alanga's stats the last few weeks. Now, Alanga's returned really well for Nottingham Forest, and he started the last 3 games as well. He has looked really good. He's a super cheap option as well. Look at that. So 6, 9, 11, and 6. He played 90 minutes against Everton, 73, 63, 13. He's got Wolves away. I don't mind him as an option. I think I'd probably be leaning towards Alanga instead of Sarr. But Sarr's had really good. It's hard because Sarr's been super attacking for Crystal Palace the last few weeks as well. 0.95. I mean, the problem is that I thought Sarr against Bournemouth was poor, and we watched that game on TV. Me and Alan watched that game, and Sarr did nothing, and Eze looked a way better pick, which is why I thought that Eze's a better pick there. Then he had 0.57, 0.99, 0.18. Oh man, that's a hard one. I think I'd be leaning towards Alanga, is my honest opinion. And then Munoz or Dina. Now Dina's got the easier fixture. They've got Aston Villa actually have the highest probability of keeping a clean sheet this week, in case anyone is wondering. They've obviously got Leicester away. Oh no, sorry, Leicester at home. Leicester haven't been good. I mean, Ruud van Nistelrooy, I'm not sure why he went there because it's going to hurt his managerial career. Could start Sarr over Pedro. Ooh.
Sarr over Pedro.
Yeah.
Yeah, start Sarr over Pedro.
I'd agree. Yeah, Sarr's probably a better pick than Pedro. Who are your other forwards? Who's your? I'm assuming you have Isaac. I mean, Delap returned really well last week as well. It's a hard one. That's a really hard question. Like, there's so many. You've got a real benching headache. That's normally me every week trying to work out my team.
But
Which
like
one
you
do
say,
I
it's
bench?
not a bad problem to have.
No, it is. It's good. Look, I'd rather have a benching headache than sit there and go, man, my team is shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luca D, man. I think I'd start him. He's played 90, 90, 90, 82. He has that assist potential as well. I definitely start Luca Dean. Yeah, he's got his act. Yeah. No, I don't mind it. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. So yeah, if anyone's asking what I think is the best wildcard draft this week, by the way, just going to quickly pull this up and do this for everyone so I can show you. So I wouldn't be having Ahmad this week. I wouldn't be having Foden. Probably wouldn't even be having Bruno, truth be told. And I wouldn't be having Kirkes. The forward line I actually don't mind at all. I think it's fine. But I would be adding Trent. I also think Munoz is a really good shout in case anyone is interested about there. And then in here, Gordon. And then, whoops. This is going to be Eze. And then this bloke here. Actually, did you know what? I could have almost afforded Gibbs White, but unfortunately he rose in price. So I actually keep the money here for a little bit. I actually think that's probably the best team you can have on wildcard this week if you had my team value, which not everyone has. But that
looks nice.
From going ahead from this week onwards, that is definitely the team to have.
That looks nice.
Yeah, I know. The benching headache always does my head in, man. Like, ever since I went to like having 5 defenders that you could actually play every week, I've got it wrong more weeks than I've got it right. I've as I said earlier in the stream, I've missed out on 27 points from Lewis Hall in the last 4 weeks. I've had him on my bench twice when he's returned big. Do you start Vandenberg or Colwill? I'm playing Munoz and Hall. You answered your question already with that statement, Liam. If you're playing Munoz, he's playing against Colwill. So either you're backing that game in to be 0-0, or you're expecting both defenders to blank. So in that case, I think I'd start Vandenberg against Southampton. I think he's got more likelihood of a clean sheet than Colwill against Crystal Palace as well.
Yeah.
Also, I haven't seen you on the chat before either, Liam, so hello and welcome. I wildcarded last week and went for a differential. Hey, look, I love that. Because last week was the last week to... Was that your first wildcard for the season, Lachlan? Just FYI, was that your first wildcard for the season last week? I'm assuming it must have been. Which is fantastic. I normally love playing my wildcard in game week 19 and then setting my team up for the second half. I did that last season, though, and stuffed up the wildcard. And I was miles in front. I was in like the top 5,000 teams, and then I wildcarded. I should just never played it. I would have been fine. I would have actually finished much higher in the overall standings, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Last week, he played it last week, so it's his first one. That's so good. So he's now set up his team. Brilliant. Any chance you could type out for us what your team is? I just really want to know. Hey, oh yeah, Liam, yeah, he did. I remember seeing your team in there. Yo, your team's good, man.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, Alan's going to pull it up because my phone's currently being used to read the chat. Normally at home, this is not a problem. I have 3 screens at home and I can read the chat all in one. I have like
There
a
you go.
massive monitor. All right, let's look at Liam's team. Oh, yeah, he's good. Yeah, decent team, that. Oh, yeah, he's the one. Yeah, I'm assuming you're holding all your players. Don't transfer any of them. The only one I'd even think about transferring is Cunha. He's also hoping for the Phil Foden magic today, baby. Me and Liam are praying for like 5 goals for Man City and Phil Foden to be assisting a whole bunch of them. So, yeah, we're definitely hoping to have that happen. He's playing Munoz and Colwill, though, so that's unfortunate because he's got Timber suspended.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'd be probably benching Colwill, I'd guess. Yeah, Vandenberg, it's fine.
But look, it could be a 0-0 draw and then it's sweet.
Yeah. It could be. You never know. I mean, Chelsea haven't been scoring that many goals of late. Cole Palmer has been unbelievably blanking of late. Let's have a look at his stats the last few weeks. So he's had 0.74 XG, 0.41, 0.54 in 3 of the last 4 weeks and not returned in 3 of them. Mad. Obviously, he returns on 0.48 against Fulham, but yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I got Wood for Cunha because I don't have much. Yeah, that's fair. I would agree. I did the exact same thing. I got rid of. I don't know why I bought Cunha in the first place, but it did. But he's been resurrected. Crystal Woody Woodpecker, man, he's going to be getting us some wood. Alan's got Woody as well.
I've got Woody.
So we've all got Woody.
Do you know what? He's just in such good form. Did you see that little chip he done the other day? Like, they just look so good. Like, Forest is smashing it, mate. They are smashing it.
I can tell you what he did during the summer. So
What did he do during the summer?
Chris Wood went back to New Zealand
Yeah.
and he went out and he did some sheep farming and he thought, I'm getting to 32 years old. I'm either going to start making wood this year or I'm never going to make wood in my life.
What?
And what's happened? He's been making wood all season long.
Mate, I'll tell you what he's
He's
making.
been going ham.
He's making paper. That's what he's making. He's making some serious paper. Yeah, he's going to go buy himself a little beach batch.
All
in New
good,
Zealand.
all good, man. Oh, yeah, very nice. Yeah, I like it. Langer and Dean. Yeah, look, sometimes it makes sense. Like, unfortunately, at the moment, FPL, Sucker actually made the game a lot more. Yeah, all good, man. Catch you next time. Glad you joined. Hopefully, you got your questions answered. What do you call it? The whole template draft at the moment is everyone has Salah, Palmer. So unless you don't have them,
Yeah.
you're really tossing your season away.
Salah, Palmer, and Isaac, really.
Yeah, those are the 3 essential players. Not many people, not everyone's jumped in.
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy. Not everyone's jumped in on the Isaac bandwagon yet, which makes no sense to me because in reality, why haven't you jumped in on him?
Yeah.
Because he has been so good. But like before when Saka was there, everyone had those 3.
Yeah.
And then the midfield on literally every good FPL team was almost identical. Everyone had a budget
Palmer,
neighbor.
Salah, and Saka.
It was either everyone had Ahmad, Enzo, Rogers, and that was it. Now it's changing because obviously Saka got injured. So then like Gordon's come into the equation. No one had Gordon before. Now lots of people are jumping on him. Then it was a Kulusevski. It was like Madison, Diaz. It's really opened it up with Saka going down because now people are like, oh, I can afford to spend my money in the defense. Now Trent Alexander-Arnold's becoming more popular.
Well, you're right. That's exactly what's happened. With Saka being injured, it's freed up money in the midfield to get in Trent.
Yeah.
You know, who, like we say, plays like Beckham, so he's banging balls in all the time. So he gets involved in a lot of the goals. So
So Chris Wood has actually risen up to 6.8. I think he must have, because if I can sell him for 6.7, he must have risen in.
how can you see
6.8.
what you can sell him for?
I'll show you in a sec. So Wood, where is he? Going here. So Wood is definitely the pick of the forwards to me. He's just been so consistent, this man. He's definitely risen up to 6.8. If I can sell him for 6.7, he definitely rose to 6.8. But across the season, I remember at the start down here, and everyone was like going, oh, who do I go with game week 1? And then I had the Wood, and the Wood popped off with 9 points to open the season. Then it was disappointing because I was like, oh, Southampton away, baby. He's already hit the ground running. And then Woody disappointed. It was his lowest score of the season other than the Arsenal game with just 1 point. And then I was like, oh. And then I had the Jota. Someone got benched in game week 3 because I had Woody on the bench because I was like, oh, Wolves, I think, are a half decent team. And then he came off the bench with his big 9 points.
Yeah.
And then I had to play him against Liverpool. Then he obviously started against Brighton, got 8. And then I remember this week, this Crystal Palace game was the Monday Night Football. And I was on, like, I feel like I was sitting just outside the top 100,000. And I needed a return from Chris Wood to get inside the top 100. And Chris Wood delivered with a goal against Crystal Palace in a 1-0 win. And then the next week was Friday Night Football against Leicester, and I did a late deadline stream. That was with Daniel back in Perth, and then Woody the Woodpecker went ham and got himself 2 goals against Leicester in Friday Night Football. But then the rest of my rest of my game week that week was shit. But like, yeah, I just remember that because he was brilliant. Then he scored against West Ham, and then I'm pretty confident I actually took him out for the Newcastle game in game week 11. Like, I just had this foresight that he was going to have a few dud weeks. But in reality, it was only 2 dud weeks. And he returned against Ipswich, blanked against City, returned against United, and then obviously disappointed against Villa, Brentford, and Tottenham, but then returned massively with Everton. And then the next lot of fixtures for Woody looked pretty damn good. I mean, they've got Wolves away, and I still don't rate the Wolves team. They've defended poorly all season. I think he whenever you see Nottingham Forest score, you just expect to see Wood.
Yeah. C Wood. Yeah.
See Wood on the score sheet. So like for me, he's definitely a goer. Liverpool at home, he probably realistically will be benched by me next week.
Yeah.
Because Ahmad, I want to start Ahmad against Southampton. And then obviously he's got the Southampton fixture up next. He could score a hat-trick against Southampton.
I think he could. I mean, his form that he's in at the moment is incredible. So yeah, definitely. I mean, you need him in your team, 100%.
Yeah, he's been so good. But look, he definitely is the pick. If you don't have Isaac, then you need to get him. Nicholas Jackson has been a little disappointing of late. I mean, since probably game week 13, he's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games and only returned him 1.
Yeah.
1 in the last 6 is not ideal. The XG's still been there. He just hasn't been finishing. And he's been getting subbed a little too early for my liking. Like 72-minute sub. I mean, he's missing out on 18 minutes of the game, and unfortunately, they just haven't been doing the job.
Why do you think they've been subbing him off early?
Well, he's been getting subbed like that all season long, if you look at it. So we go back to the start, 65 minutes against City, 67, 90, 78, 63, 78, 80, 90, 77, 90, 87, 90. Well, he had a run there where he was playing almost 90 minutes every week. And that's when he was returning. So, like, maybe they just need to leave him on the field and he'll start getting bigger returns.
Yeah.
I mean, and Cunha did nothing to suggest that he should ever be starting as the centre forward. I thought he was bang average against Ipswich. There's a reason why he came on with 55 minutes on the clock gone.
Yeah.
Because Maresca realised he'd stuffed it up. So I don't think he's a problem moving forward there. In terms of other forwards, now there are a couple that maybe are worth a look. Like if you look at the standings for the season, like Strand Larsen is actually 8th on this list, which is unbelievable. Wolves have 2 players in the top 8 players for forwards this season.
Really?
Yeah, Cunha's obviously second with 111. He's obviously going to miss this week. And Strand Larsen's down in 8th with 77.
Wow. That's crazy.
Who would have thought that? So yeah, look, Wiss is actually, if you were after a cheap, I think the best cheap forward that's under 6.5 is probably Wisser. I know he's done nothing the last 4 weeks to suggest that he should be there. But they do have Southampton up and then it's Man City, Liverpool. But if he can get through those next 2 and bench him in 21 and 22, he could definitely be the best cheaper forward to buy and invest in. Because if you can get through that Man City, Liverpool run, they've then got Palace, Spurs, West Ham, Leicester, Everton, Villa, Bournemouth. That's a much nicer run from a Brentford perspective. But the next 2 weeks after this week are not ideal. All right, Liam, I benched out Pedro's points and Hall's last week. Yeah, hey, mate, that was me last week. I benched Hall, had 12, so I got 62 points last week. Whereas this is how bad it was for me last week. 62 points. The first time I've been below the average in I can't even remember how long. Colwill started and Hall was sitting there on the bench with 12 points. It was highly frustrating. And I made the dumb move of bringing this idiot in for João Pedro. It cost me 20 points in total. I would have been inside the top 20,000. Instead, I dropped down to 53,000. The cat stuffed me up. The cat gave me some bad predictions.
Yeah, he wants you to fail. I told him the brief. I said, make sure you give bad information to Darius.
The cat said there was going to be an Ahmad double. There was nothing. There was crickets and a whole return with a 12-pointer. But yeah, look, the mistakes were made last week. That was definitely my worst round of the season. But have a look at this. So my team value is now up to 106.7. What's yours?
Not that.
106.7 team value. I
don't
mean,
know.
like that is actually having an Eze extra in my team. That's the difference that is. Because Eze costs 6.6.
Right, so where's the value?
Oh, actually, you might not be able to see on your. I think you have to be on the actual app.
Yeah, it's got to be on transfers,
Yeah.
isn't it? Let's have a look. Let me try and find it.
Al's going to try and find his team value. Because normally on here, you just go on the right side and it just shows you there when the game week history is. Is there a button that says game week history on there? Yeah, so look, yeah, that was disappointing. But when it comes to this week, thankfully, Timber is suspended because that was making me a benching headache again. Because originally I was starting Timber and I was benching Hall again. So I'm kind of glad that Timber's suspended because now I don't have to worry about whether I've got it right or wrong. I'm playing Hall.
Yeah.
I'm never going to play Colwill in front of Hall again. That is my lesson learned from game week 19.
Fair. My lesson learned is Captain Salah.
Yeah, can you believe it? Alan last week. Oh, there you go. If you click team name on your phone, it should show up.
Team name on my... Oh, yeah.
Ah, brilliant. Thank you very much, Liam. Yep.
Cheers, Liam.
Oh, so Alan's team value is 101.7. I've literally smoked you by 5
Yeah,
minutes.
but I don't.
I've got an extra Ahmad in my team.
Yeah, but I don't look at the price rises and falls like you do. You're like a stock trader.
I'm like, who's going up? Who can I get on next?
I've actually gone up the ranks. I'm still at 1.6 million now. I was like 3 million.
Look at that. Alan's up to 1.6 million. Let's have a look. So Alan actually played me last week. It was actually very disappointing in our head-to-head league. Alan smoked me, and I didn't want to bring this up, but he did me easily, and he didn't even get his captain right.
Didn't even captain Salah, and I still smoked her.
Let's have a look at his team from last week. So 86 points. That was a big green arrow, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yep. So let's have a look. So game week history for Alan last week. He went from 1.9 million up to 1.6. That's not a bad return, Alan.
Yeah.
Pretty good. 300,000 spots. Now let's have a look at your team last week. Now, you were very blessed. You were kissed by the fact that you had all these differentials.
Well,
I wish I had.
I brought in Alexander Arnold.
That was a good return.
Finally, JP returned.
He did.
I mean, Sarr was disappointing and Palmer was disappointing, but it is what it is. Roger's obviously done his thing.
Imagine if you captained Salah instead of Palmer, you would have had 100 points.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I know that. I know
You would have cracked the big triple.
But this is the same as last week.
Yeah.
Last week I done not last week. The week before that I done the same. I didn't captain Salah, and he punished me. I mean, I would have been well up if I had captained Salah for those two weeks. But there you go. That's FPL.
Yeah. So Alan in 2 of the last 3 weeks has captained Palmer instead of Salah, and in both weeks Palmer's blanked that you've captained him.
Yeah.
And then the 1 week he didn't captain him, Palmer actually outscored Salah by a point.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
You can't make that up. That's quite funny, to be fair. But yeah, Alan's team. Did you make any transfers this week?
No.
No transfers. How many you got in the bank now?
2.
2.
Oh no, I've got 1 transfer this week, but next week I'll have 2.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm going to make a bigger transfer next week. I don't know what yet.
So this week Rogers is benched for Semenyo, and then that's the team you're playing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not bad. Think you got all right this week?
Oh, actually, no. Yeah. That's what I've done.
Yeah. I was going to say you must have done that because there's no way you're playing Dunk against Arsenal.
No, that's what.
And you're not playing Justin against.
That's it.
Yeah. Justin, he's been a flop, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's been not very good.
So I don't know what the change will be. I've got to change something up. I think Pedro's going to have to go.
How much money you got?
0.1.
0.1. Far out. It's not money.
That's why I haven't done a transfer. I've got to wait. Do some other moves.
Yeah, I think you just roll.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with your team moving forward for a while. It's not bad. It's not bad. But yeah, that FPL challenge, I reckon. I still want to know how well Foden's going to go today. Like, is he going to?
I think he'll do well.
I hope so.
I think he'll do well.
It's going to the pick team function again. That's why I reckon that's definitely the best wild card draft this week. 100%. 100%. Best cheap defenders though. So some people always ask about the cheap defenders. I still think that Hull's probably the pick under 5 mil. Only because of the fact that Newcastle's look amazing. Like Botman coming back does throw a little spanner in the works though.
Yeah.
I think. I'm going to change my vice captain as well while I'm thinking about it.
I changed mine to Isaac.
Yeah, same.
I'm just going to make a coffee. I'll be back in a sec.
All right, let's change him. Make vice captain. Yeah, I think Isaac's actually better vice captain than Palmer this week. That's just my personal opinion. The dude is in such good form. Tottenham have the shittest defense going as well. So I can't see them doing much more other than what they have been doing. The cat is ready. We are going to go through our predictions for the week in a second. I'm just going to quickly find the fixtures tab. And we're going to have a look at them. Top transfers in this week. Let's have a look how that is looking. So Wood, oh my God. Guess how many transfers Chris Wood has had in this week? Hello, Hamad. Bench one out of Bruno, Trent, Saliba, Lewis Hall. Did you hear that one, Alan? Benching out of Bruno, Trent, Saliba, or Lewis Hall. I'm going to say you bench. Oh, mate, that's a hard one. Bruno's on penalties, but Man United just don't look like scoring goals. I'd definitely play Trent. Definitely start Trent. You definitely start Saliba. I think you bench Lewis Hall, you know. I think I'd bench Lewis Hall. Also, I haven't seen you on the chat before. Hello, Ahmad. I think I'd be benching Lewis Hall out of those four. I feel like Michael Oliver's going to do something stupid tomorrow and give a penalty for someone. And I just like the fact that Bruno's on penalties. That's all really. I think Bruno could be the one that plays. I think I'd be leaning towards benching Lewis Hall. Yeah. Wood has had 917,000 transfers in this game week. That is insane. Cunha has been transferred out by 1.3 million managers. Jackson's been traded out by 540. That's insane. What is going on? Hall's been transferred in by 454. Man, so many people are active on their transfers this week. So many people must be on wildcard or something. That's crazy. Madison's been traded out by 331,000. That's actually ridiculous. Let's have a look at some more of these numbers really quickly. So Wood 917, Isaac 575, Aina. I'm not sure why so many people are bringing him in. I don't think he's worth 5.2 mil to be fair. Gordon, I understand. 3 from Hall, Robinson, Castagna, and Milenkovic. Castagna and Robinson play. They have Ipswich at home. They're most likely to keep clean sheets out of that lot. I would prefer to play Milenkovic against a Cunha-less Wolves than I would with Hall against a Tottenham team that do like to score. So for me, Peter, I think I'm benching Hall. I think that's what I'd do that. Yeah. Also, hello. I don't think I've seen you on the chat before either. Yeah, but I think I'd be leaning towards the double Fulham defense looks really good against Ipswich. I'm not convinced Ipswich will score today. And Milenkovic, I think the Nottingham Forest defense, you can't back against. They've been keeping their defensive data this season has been insanely good. So for me, I think I'd be starting those three and benching Hall. Alexander Arnold, another 358,000 transfers in. I'm surprised so many people are bringing in Watkins. 344,000 managers. If you're selling Jackson for Watkins, there's something wrong with you. I hate to say it, but Watkins, I think once Duran's back off suspension, he's going to be back in the team. All good, buddy. If you haven't subbed already, please think about doing it. That'd definitely help grow the channel. Robinson, I'm surprised that's only 327. He's definitely the pick of the Fulham defenders for me. Gapco, 287,000 transfers in. Awobi, lots of love there. Gibbs White. Gibbs White is actually one of the better players that has not been getting much love. I covered him on my differential video this week. 3.8% ownership. If you want a differential midfielder, Gibbs White is the man. Last 5 weeks, 13, 8, 2, 6, 10. This man has been involved for the season now, per 90 minutes, 0.16 expected goals, 0.26 expected assists. For 6.4 million, he is a really good differential. I like in the midfield.
Yeah, I like Gibbs White.
He looks
Especially
really good.
when you got old Woodpecker up front.
Look at the transfers in this week. 917,000 people bought the wood in for some wood.
Yeah, because his points, he's just in great form.
Everyone's getting hard for the woody.
Mbomo, that's interesting.
Yeah, can you see that? So I think lots of people bringing Mbomo in because of the fact he obviously scored against Arsenal and it's Southampton straight in front of you. Like, that looks really good. But then it's Man City and Liverpool and then Crystal Palace and Spurs. I'm not sure the next 4 weeks after that look really good. All right, it's Bonte, hello and welcome. Oh, hell, the cat's lost the plot.
Cat's doing zoomies.
Start 1, bench 2 of. All right, so he's got to start 1 out of Sarr, João Pedro and Lewis.
Sarr, João Pedro or Lewis?
I think you definitely bench Lewis because I'd rather play an attacker or a midfielder instead of a defender every day of the week. So I think I'd lean towards Sarr. I think. But Man City are playing West Ham without Jared Bowen. So Lewis, if he starts, I think would be guaranteed 6 points.
Yeah.
So that means that Sarr would then have to get an assist or a goal to beat him. That's a tough one. For me, I'm definitely benching João Pedro. I don't rate that man at all. I've watched too many Brighton games the last 6 weeks with him and my team, and he's sat on my bench every week, and I haven't even felt bad about it. And I transferred him out last week when he obviously returned, which, yeah, story of my life. But there you go. But yeah, also if you haven't subscribed, think about doing that. That'd be awesome. But Mbuemo, I'm surprised so many people bringing him in. 30.8%. I mean, if he scores against Southampton, I'm going to be hating it because it's going to be hurting me. But also, Luis Diaz, 376,000 people bringing him in. This man, look at the pattern of starts for him since game week 6. Start, bench, bench, start, bench, start, bench, start, bench, start, start, bench, start. What's that pattern telling you? Against Manchester United, Luis Diaz will be on the bench. That's what it's telling me.
Yeah.
John is dual start as well. Would you double up with Palmer and Enzo or play Sarr? I have Salah in the 3 as the other one. Would you double up with Palmer and Enzo or play Sarr? It just depends on how well I think Crystal Palace will go against Chelsea. Well, you're the Palace fan. Let's ask Alan. What would you do?
I wouldn't double up with Chelsea. I think Chelsea are going to have a mistake in them. So yeah, I'd go with Sarr.
Okay, there you go. You heard it from
if
the
I'm
Palace
honest,
fan.
if I'm honest, it's probably going to be a draw. That's what I'm thinking. But I want a Palace win, but I think it'll be a draw.
Will there be goals?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there will be goals.
All right, there you go. Sarr and Palmer. Okay, geez, that's my issue. Style attackers need to return at least to match a clean sheet against the weak West. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely a very valid concern. I feel like if you're confident Lewis will start, I can't see Kyle Walker starting against West Ham. Like, why would you play Kyle Walker when you probably want him fit for the better teams? When you're playing a West Ham team that's minus Jared Bowen, how likely are West Ham going to be able to score? It's going to rely on the Man City defensive power for West Ham to score today, I believe. That's just so. Yeah, I agree. Lewis definitely. They need the attackers need to return in order for Lewis not to be the better option. But yeah, I've always preferred attackers, because if they do return, they're always going to beat a defender. So it's one of them weird ones, to discuss. Now look at the transfers out this week. This was interesting. So Cunha's been sold by 1.32 million people. Insane. But Nicholas Jackson's in next. 540,000 people said goodbye to Nicholas Jackson. Why?
Probably because
I don't get that one. I really don't get that one.
It's probably because of his cost. There's probably cheaper options out there. If you think about Wood,
Yeah,
you want Isaac, so you want Wood. Um, there because if you look at the midfielders, like all these midfielders, Bowen, Rogers, whatever, maybe they're spending the money, moving the money into the midfield.
true. I just think that for me, Nicholas Jackson's still the second best forward in the game outside of Isaac.
Yeah,
So I'm surprised so many people are selling him. Unless you're selling him to Isaac, I still wouldn't be doing it. I'd be selling one of your other forwards
I
to
think
get
they're
Isaac.
selling. I think they're selling them to Isaac.
Have you got Jackson?
No,
No.
I did have Jackson. So
He's been, I haven't minded him. The last 6 weeks have not been pleasant being a Jackson owner, but I feel like the returns are there. He's due a return as well. So hopefully this is the week he comes back and shoves it up everyone's asses that sold him.
perfect.
Yeah, I'd love it. Rogers, I don't know why so many people are selling him. I think he's definitely the best budget midfielder to own. He's only suspended for 1 week. Yes, he missed the Leicester game, but it's a lot of reactionary transfers there for me. Bowen is 100% sell. I'm surprised 4.2% still own him. Must be inactive teams because he's going to be out for the next month. Definitely needs to leave. Madison, rotation risk. Yeah, he needs to go. Lots of people a bit slow moving him out. Ahmad is an interesting one. Now, 295,000 people have said goodbye to Ahmad. Now, I don't think that is the correct play. Yes, he's been disappointing in the last 3 weeks. He is still Man United's most creative outlet outside of Bruno Fernandes. They probably need to drop him back into the wingback role because that meant that there was more likelihood of him getting assists. But against Southampton, like this week, he's an easy bench for me. But next week, I'll definitely be playing him. Southampton at home. If Man United are ever going to turn around their form under Ruben Amorim, it's going to be next week against Southampton. And Ahmad is definitely going to be starring. So I don't think he's. And like, if you're just selling just to bring in like a Jacob Murphy or an Enzo, or you're transferring to Sarr or to Rogers or whatever it is, if you're just sideways trading, you're really just wasting a transfer as far as I'm concerned.
I just think people just don't want Man United players.
That's fair. They are shit. I'm a supporter,
There's
but they're
lots of
shit.
other options out there,
Yeah.
and the thing is, they're not scoring, are they? So
No, they've been bang average, to be fair. Bang, bang average. So yeah, look, that's just unfortunate. It is what it is. Julian Timber, again, lots of people selling, but I'd just be holding. I don't think there's any really reason to be selling. He's still the most cheapest way into Arsenal's defence. Ben White's still not back either. He's definitely going to be back in from next week. I mean, Brighton away is not the best fixture. They've got Tottenham up next. Probably might even leave him on the bench next week as well, to be fair. But then from then on, the Arsenal defence is really good. He's just the cheapest way of covering it outside of Raya. And I've obviously got Allison in goal covering the Liverpool defence. So for me, Pedro Porro, this is a bloke that I'm surprised is still owned by 24% of the comp. Look at his numbers and tell me if he deserves to be owned by that many people. So since game week 12, when he obviously scored against Man City, got the 14, this season he's done nothing to warrant people having him. So the first 2 weeks amazing. Then he goes 1, 2, 2, 5, 1, 2, 2, 1, 4. That big 14, 2, 1, 3, 6, -1, 1, 4.
well, at least you know he's going to play.
Yeah, well, yeah. At least
And
you know he's going to
cheap.
play.
Is he
But
cheap?
he's 5.5. I wouldn't call him cheap.
Mm.
So many better defenders under that price point. Lots of people selling Fabianski. They all must be on wildcard. That dude will be back in goal next game week. He's obviously under concussion protocols, but he'll be back against Fulham. And as a second goalkeeper, why would you transfer out a second goalkeeper? Like, no one's playing him as the number one goalkeeper, sure.
Must be wildcard.
Must be. But even then, why would you bother moving him out? He's 100% likely to come back in. Lots of people still moving Bruno out. If you're going to move Bruno out, the time to do that was last week. It's not this week. So, yeah, that's just what I think there. Now, let's have a look at the fixtures for this week, Alan, and make our predictions. The cat is ready. The cat's been waiting all morning for these predictions.
He's been running around doing zoomies.
The early kickoff is Spurs against Newcastle. What are we likely to see?
Well, I think Spurs do score goals. However, there's sickness in the team. They've got no Son. I think it will be like a 3-1 Newcastle, maybe more.
Here we go. So, DJ Smash, DJI Smash. Hello, Smashy. How are you? If you're new, please think about subscribing. He's asked, replace Enzo with Alanga. Alanga has provided goals in the last 4 Premier League matches.
That's one for you, Darius.
That's exactly what I was just talking about. Sideways trading. So Alanga costs 5.2 and Enzo costs 5.1. I'll double check that. Bear with us 1 sec. I'm just going to quickly look this up. So Enzo, let's go to the midfielders. And under 5.6. All right, so we have Enzo's 5.1. And what did I say the other one was? Alanga, he's 5.2. They've scored 65 points for Enzo for the season, 62 for Alanga. Alanga's last 4 weeks have been amazing. Enzo's have not been. However, if you look at the data for each of them over the last 4 weeks, Enzo's had 0.93 XG, 0.25, 0.34, 0.19, 0.48 the last 5. If you have a look at Alanga's, 0.47, 0.37, 0.23, 0.20. So over the last 5, he's actually had less XG or expected goal involvement than Enzo. Enzo's just been unlucky. Alanga's been lucky. I wouldn't be going there. I wouldn't be wasting a transfer on moving Enzo to Alanga unless you wanted to bring another Chelsea player and open up a slot. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, back to the fixtures. So yeah, Spurs against Newcastle. What result?
I think there'll be, well, definitely a Newcastle win and a lot of goals. I mean, Tottenham have no defence. They've got sickness in their team. They've got no Son. Like, what are they going to do? You know, so I think it'll be like a 3-1, or it could even be more. It could even be like an absolute battering of like 5 something. Once they get going.
I reckon Tottenham score somehow and it'll be 4-1.
Yeah.
Cat looks pretty happy with that, not making any reactions.
Cat's nodding.
Aston Villa against Leicester.
Well, Aston Villa are going to win.
Yep. How many?
I think it'll just be like a 2-1 or something. I think Vardy will probably get a goal.
Yeah, I reckon I'm going to go the same. 2-1 for Aston Villa there. I think Leicester will score. Aston Villa's defence just isn't that good. Bournemouth against Everton.
Bournemouth are going to win. Clive at penalty.
I think Bournemouth win this fairly comfortably. I'm going to go with 2-0 Bournemouth.
Yeah, so do I.
Kirk's clean sheet for me. Come on.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace at home to Chelsea.
Do you know what? My gut is telling me it's going to be a boring 0-0 game. That's what my gut's telling me. It'll be a boring 0-0 game, but I want Palace to win, so I'm going to say 2-1 Palace.
2-1 Palace. All right, DJI Smash has just got back in. My plan was to replace Enzo with Alanga and Martinelli with Luis Diaz, but thank you. Oh, no, I definitely wouldn't be doing that. Luis Diaz is more of a risk of benching than Martinelli. I'd definitely be keeping Martinelli and Enzo. I wouldn't be trading that. I wouldn't be doing that. No, not for me. What did you say about Palace and Chelsea?
I think 0-0. 0-0. That's what I think. I think it's going to be a 0-0. Although I want it to be a 2-1.
I reckon this could be 2-2. Nicholas Jackson double, Palmer assist, Eze goal, Mateta goal.
All right.
There you go. 2-all. Man City at home to what looks like a very cannon foddery West Ham.
4-1.
4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. I think it'll be a Haaland hat-trick. Foden involved with assists. West Ham will get one back, but yeah, 4-1.
I reckon 6-0.
6-0
Double hat-trick. So we're going to have double hat-tricks in this game.
for Foden and Haaland.
Early Haaland hat-trick.
You need them
Foden. Phil Foden hat-trick. I've got to believe, man. I bought him in. I had a feeling he's got to pop. He's got to pop at some point. It's got to click. And if it clicks today and he gets a hat-trick, man,
I think
I'm the best.
Without Bowen, they won't be able to counter.
Yeah.
So they're not going to score. They might get a lucky one, but I reckon Man City are just going to run through them. I think they're going to be in a good headspace after their last win. And I think that Haaland's got his goal now. He's got his mojo back. And this is it. Haaland's hat-trick. And yeah, Foden will be in there running through the defence.
Yeah, I agree. I can't see any other result that isn't a massive Man City win there. Southampton at home to Brentford.
I'm gonna go 1-1. I reckon Southampton are playing slightly better.
They are.
I reckon that they'll hold them. Brentford are rubbish.
away from home, and I think they'll hold them.
Well, let's have a look. The last two games, Southampton only just lost to West Ham at home, which was 1-0. West Ham won for a Jared Bowen scruffy goal there. Against Crystal Palace, they obviously lost 2-1, but they looked half decent even in that game. Brentford don't travel well away from the G-Tech, which makes you think Southampton are half a chance of getting something from this game. So I'm also going to go 1-1. I think this could be a draw.
Yeah.
Brighton against Arsenal.
Do you want something controversial? I think this is going to be a draw.
I think it could be as well.
I think
Brighton
this-
aren't the worst.
Yeah.
I think it could be like a 1-1.
Yeah. That's what I think.
I don't know who scores.
Actually, maybe a 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-2 because I want JP to get a couple.
I just can't see Arsenal conceding more than a goal, so that's why I think 1-1. Their
I'll
defense.
say 2-2. You say 1-0.
All right, 1-1. On to Sunday's fixtures. Oh dear, I don't want to even talk about Sunday's fixtures. It's a very depressing lot in life here. So it's Fulham against Ipswich.
I think Fulham will do this. I mean, Ipswich aren't bad, but I think Fulham will do it.
Yeah, I'm going 3-0 Fulham.
I think like 2-1.
I'm hoping they don't concede. I need Robinson to get some clean sheets on. Liverpool against Manchester United. The cat is already looking me fair dinkum in
I
the
reckon
face.
it'll be like 5-1, 5-0, something like that. I reckon it'll be something really bad. 5 something. What was that, Squid? 5.
I don't think the Squid agrees. I think Squid's like, I think you're a bit off.
No, it's 5-1.
I reckon Squiddy.
No, actually, wait a minute. What was that? 5-0. 5-0. 5-0.
5-0 to Manchester United. That's what the Squid reckons.
5-0 to Liverpool. Clean sheet, Alexander Arnold.
Squid definitely told me that it's going to be a Trent Alexander-Arnold own goal. Heard it here first.
Whatever.
Watch this back on replay. Squid's going like, I told you, mate. Just whispered in my ear. But realistically, if Manchester United come away with anything less than a scoreline that isn't more than 3 goals worse off, it's a good result.
Yeah.
That's how bad we are at the moment. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow afternoon. Wolves against Forest to finish this off on Monday Night Football.
Do you know what? I was thinking about this game earlier. I think this could be. I think this could be like a 2-2. I know Wolves are not great and Forest is really good at the moment. I don't know. I think it could be. I don't know why my gut's just saying 2-2. I could be completely wrong with that. Logically, you would say it would be like a 1-0 Forest, but
I think Chris Wood returns. Everyone's bought him in. Everyone's got a good feeling. Everyone's waiting for some Wood on Monday Night Football. That is what we are waiting for. Would you still captain Salah or go for a differential and captain Raul or Isaac? Oh, I definitely would not be captaining Raul.
Yeah.
Alan can tell you a story about this earlier in the season.
all right.
Let's hear it. Alan can tell you very good story about this.
Oh yeah, it was.
Might as well have been.
I tried to be differential and captain Fulham players, and it backfired on me. I didn't get any points. I mean, I would be captaining Salah and play safe. I didn't captain Salah for 2 weeks in a row, and he's punished me. I captained Palmer, so I'll be captaining Salah. If you did want a differential though, it's Isaac.
Yeah,
That's who you want to go for.
Well, do you remember what week it was? Alan did this earlier in the season, and I was like, "Oh, mate, we did this on a live stream as well." And I was like, "I don't think that's the captain." It was when you played your wild card. When was that? It was week 5. You played it in week 4, so you did it in week 3. Have a look at this. This team he picked, and he picked Muniz as captain. And then I said Salah was the pick this week, and he got 17 points. And you captain Muniz.
It was that for me has summed up my FPL. Like my FPL season has been betting against Salah, and every week he's punished me. I've done it, so no more of that.
Vice captain Eze. Oh, all these are risky. I think that this week, realistically, the captaincy comes down to 2 things. One, if you're taking on, where's my team here? Well, I'll go back to my pick team. Where are we? So when it comes to captaincy this week, there are some things you've got to take into account. Now, earlier in the season, Mo Salah got a goal and 2 assists against Manchester United at Old Trafford. This man's record against Man United, being a fan, trust me, I know it better than most. He likes playing Manchester United. There's something about scoring against us that he loves. He loves taking his shirt off against us. He loves rubbing it in front of the Stretford end. This man does not care about Manchester United. He looks on them and thinks, I'm going to score against these bastards. That's the way he looks at
Yeah.
us. 100%. I would not be backing against him. If you were willing to take a punt this week on a differential captain, it would be Isaac against Tottenham because Tottenham's defence looks bare bones. And Isaac, I saw firsthand at Old Trafford on Monday night. That man is a man in form. He looks like a proper centre forward, and he knows where the goal is.
Yeah.
He's in hot form. Yeah, yeah. And then Mo Salah, he's burning everyone. I mean, like, let's just have a look at this man's run. Like, betting against him at the moment is insane.
Yeah.
16-9, 21-5, 18-13, 13-14, 9-10, 12. You have to go back to game week 7. 12 weeks ago for the last time he blanked. Insane. The XG numbers as well, just to say, look at the expected goal involvement across this time. 2.06, 1.03, 2.06, 0.59, 0.92, 1.78, 2.02, 1.06, 0.65, 0.46, 0.92. The dude is, I don't even know how he's having this season. He's over the age of 30. He should be slowing down.
Yeah.
He's speeding up. I don't get it. I don't get it. Maybe this is what happens. Maybe the secret is to sign players to contracts that are only 2 years long. So that way, every second year, you get a season like this where they have in hand because they want that new contract. Because that's what it looks like. It's impossible not to bet against him. Like, obviously, Isaac was the other one. Now, a couple of weeks ago, Isaac, when he got that hat-trick against Ipswich, unfortunately, that was the week Mo Salah got 21 points. So even if you captained Isaac that week, and it did look amazing on paper because he played first, yeah, I don't know. He's probably the next best bet
Yeah.
against Spurs.
If it's not Salah and you want a differential, Isaac.
Yeah, but I think you're mad to take him on. Oh, he's jumped up to 52%. He was on 50 something at the start of the stream. He's now up to 52.
Wow.
Lots of people bringing him in before the deadline. That's insane. You've got 10 minutes left in order to get in your last minute questions. You fix your team. Make sure you got your captaincy right. Obviously, some people concerned about the game between Man United and Liverpool getting called off. If it does, I'm stuffed because I'm going down to 10 men. Because obviously Colwell will play for Bruno. But then I've got no Salah, no Ahmad, and no Alisson. I actually play with 9 players. But stuff it. I'm not concerned about that. It is what it is. There's no way a little bit of snow is going to call off the football in this day and age. There's underground heating. Lots of people just making stories up to get clickbait. That's what I personally reckon. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the team. Next week, it looks really good, my team on paper. This week, it's a little bit rough because obviously Man United play Liverpool. There's a few clashes there that I don't really like. But I've got to play Bruno. The dude's on penalties. I think there's a high likelihood that Bruno Fernandes gets sent off by Michael Oliver. Now, I was talking about this earlier. I don't like the fact that Michael Oliver is reffing Man United against Liverpool. Last year, he sent off Dallo for 2 yellow cards in the space of 30 seconds. Do you remember that? And
What have they done to him?
I don't know. I reckon he's been bought by Liverpool.
What?
You know how back in the day everyone always used to say that Fergie had paid off Howard Webb, so that's why Howard Webb always used to give us really nice decisions and stuff.
Yeah.
I reckon Michael Oliver's been paid off by Liverpool.
Yeah, you think he's
Similar thing. Some dodgy decisions always come out from him. Michael Oliver, the thing I don't like about him, he always makes the game about him. He has to impact the game. And a ref should never impact the game. They should just ref the game. And if it's a penalty, you give it. But he often goes out of his way. If it's like a 50-50 call, he does it so he's in the headlines.
Do you think that's...
Just watch his games. He always does
We'll
calls
see.
like
We'll
that.
see. We'll watch. Everyone will be eagle-eyed looking at Mike.
Case in point, David Coote, bless him, bring him back. That is a real-life referee. He got sent to the monitor by Michael Oliver in that West Ham Man United game, Eric Ten Hag's last game in charge. And Mike Oliver thought it was a penalty, told him it was a penalty, and David Cooper was like, "What am I looking at?" And he gave it because Mike Oliver said it was a penalty. So I'm telling you, Mike Oliver doesn't like Man United. So the chances, I don't know why I'm playing Bruno based on that evidence, because maybe he's going to turn it around and he's going to make it an absolute gaff and give us a penalty.
Well, if someone's going to get sent off, it'll be him.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be Bruno.
He'll get frustrated when he's. What will happen is Liverpool will start spanking him. He'll get really frustrated. He'll get a second yellow, get himself sent off again.
Yep. High likelihood. So yeah, that's it. I think that's how I'm going to roll this week. Colwell on the bench. I was definitely helped by the Jurriën Timber suspension because Timber was going to be playing instead of Hall, and I did think about it. But yeah, I still think Tottenham will score today, but I also think Palace will score, and I think Hall's got much more likelihood of getting a return than Colwell. That's my line of thinking. Really, I'm hoping for Phil Foden to repay the faith today.
We need to watch the game.
We've got it up. Brought the fire stick.
Nice.
Hopefully the police didn't hear
What
that.
do
Dodgy
you
streams.
mean, Darius? What do you mean?
Don't worry, the cat's here to protect us. He'll
Yeah.
be here to knock out any policeman that shows up.
He likes football.
He does.
It? Does that ring it? Does that look familiar?
Mum has gifted Alan a gift. I've just looked at this spoon. I was like, what is this? This is... So Alan, bless him. Yeah, how did that go with Mum?
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, good. So
It's good.
Alan looked after the old lady while I went to Manchester to watch Man United.
Yeah, we went off to Portsmouth and went off to Richmond Park and watched some films. Watched A Man Called Otto. Watched quite a few films actually. It was good.
She loves a film.
Yeah, it was nice.
She loves a sleep during the
I
film.
learned all about you. I know everything about you now. I got some good stories and I've seen some great photographs of you.
Oh,
You
mate.
didn't tell me you played the saxophone.
Oh, she did not pull that out.
Oh yeah, I know loads of stuff about you.
Back in the day, I used to play the saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I was going to say this spoon's slightly too big.
Is it though? There's also a placemat somewhere. Oh look, it's behind your Red Bull. That's also another one.
Oh, yeah. She just left her gifts here.
There's quite a few things.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, but it was no, it was a good time. It was a lovely time.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Good.
So we've got 5 minutes. So you need to lock in your teams if you haven't done so.
I'd say Kirkes is like one of them ones. So I was actually actively looking at getting rid of Kirkes for Munoz, and I probably will do it next week. I've got 0.6 in the bank. So next week, I am looking at taking a -4, maybe even a -8 next week. It all depends.
-8.
It all depends on how well Phil Foden goes today. Now, if Phil Foden pops off and just returns and looks like Man City are back, he's staying, and my plans go out the window. And in that case, it's just probably going to be Colwell for Munoz next week, and that's it. But if it doesn't go to plan, Phil Foden will become Eze, and that will free up the money for then me to get in Trent Alexander-Arnold for Kirkes, and then Munoz will come in for Colwell, and there'll be a -8 next week. But then I'm fine, because then from then on, I don't need to make any transfers unless I get any injuries for a fairly long period of time.
Yeah.
That's my plan. The cat's ready and knows we're almost ready for the deadline.
he's getting
Ready to-
himself comfortable.
Ready to
himself
swipe
ready
the
for it.
button. You're going end stream now.
He loves it. He loves that blanket.
What did Mum think of the cat?
Yeah, they got on really well. She was taking photos of Squid. He was sitting with her.
Squid, you're going to make the photo frame album at home.
I
Yeah,
hope so. I
you're gonna
hope
be
so.
famous.
She got some good photos of him. We got some good photos as well. She
Yeah.
invited me over, so I thought I'll go over to Oz when I come and visit you.
Yeah,
Go via your mum.
yep, definitely. She'll happily host you. Then you can
Yeah.
meet Nug the pug.
Yes. Yeah, Nug. Yeah, I've seen photos of Nug and stuff.
She's a fatty.
Really?
She's a fatty boomba.
And I see your bar. You've got a bar there as well.
Yeah, it's a really random like type of bar and stuff. Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're hanging around till the end, thank you for staying the journey. There's still a bunch of people watching, so that's good. yeah, I think that's it. But I'm pretty happy with the team this week. Nicholas Jackson, I just really hope, like, some of these players the last couple of weeks have really let me down, and I've just persisted with them. This is the week where a little bit of patience is hopefully rewarded.
I think this will be a bit high scoring game week, this one.
Well, last week was, and I just was on the wrong side of it.
I want Everton. I need Everton to lose. I need West Ham to lose, and I need Manchester United to lose. As long as those three teams lose and Palace win, well, and Chelsea as well. So Chelsea,
Well, Chelsea
Man
and Palace both
United-
can't win because they're playing each
no,
other.
to lose.
Oh.
So first of all, Chelsea. I need Chelsea to lose. Man United to lose.
Yep.
Everton and West Ham. If those four teams lose, then we're looking good. Palace are looking good.
That's fair.
Might actually put a bet on that. Actually.
Yep.
I'm feeling lucky.
So what do you reckon? I know Ahmet was thinking about whether playing double Newcastle was the right play or playing double Fulham.
If Ahmet says double Newcastle, mate.
But like, it's against Tottenham.
No, double
Like Tottenham
Yeah,
are
but-
more likely to score than Ipswich, right?
Right.
It's defenders, not attackers.
Ahmet is 300 in the world.
He's had a little bit of luck.
I don't think it's luck.
No, he's been good. He's been good.
He's been good. I think.
Not playing it down. He's
Yeah,
been
no,
good.
I think go with Newcastle. I think Ahmet's in form. That's what I think.
He is
What is he doing? Is he attacking you?
trying to scratch my leg.
Good, good. He's trying to get your
Squid.
attention.
Squid nose.
He's not scratching your leg. He's doing biscuits on the blanket. He loves that
He
blanket.
got sharp claws, man.
I know he does.
He's like,
He don't like Man United.
no, he
supporters,
doesn't.
yeah.
He's seeing the red shirt. He's seeing red.
Oh, by the way, there's an Adidas outlet down the road. You can go on, let him jump on. He just wants to come and say hello. Don't be scared.
all right,
Look,
it's all right.
you're
Cat's-
the scaredy cat. Let him come over it.
There you go.
Squid, come on. Squid, come here.
He's figuring out like, what's the quickest way? Oh, down it goes.
Come on. Come and say goodbye to everyone.
So,
everyone.
Squid's predictions.
are going to lose 5-0 because they're toilet. Because yeah, there's better quality in his litter tray than there is in
There is.
United at the
I'm not
moment.
even gonna lie. There's some. The litter trade probably sums up Man United's team at the moment. Boo.
Right, I'll let him go now. Bless him. Yeah, so there's an Adidas outlet literally just down the road. You can get Man United kits in there.
I don't know if I want to get another one, to be honest with you. One's enough.
Yeah.
Did you know I
They're
walked in
probably
right?
even more reduced now.
I walked in right, and like this we were in the Bishop's Place, actually sitting there in the pre-match thing, having some beers, and this guy sat there, was like walking, and he looked at me and goes, "Rude Van Nistelrooy."
Who said that?
And this bloke, just random bloke in the pub.
Yeah.
I turned around. Obviously, I've got Rude Van Nistelrooy
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
back of my shirt. I was like, I
He
know it,
probably-
baby.
Mate, you probably, yeah, you do look like him.
I was like, if I was slightly taller, I'd be mint. And like,
Yeah, yeah.
I was clean shaven, so I was a little bit more. But like, if I
Mate, if you had the
was like
beard,
right now,
100%. Yeah, yeah.
nailed on, man. Nailed on.
Yeah.
Nailed on. Look, yeah. So yeah, I think, what are we expecting the average score to be this week, you reckon? Give us a number.
Average score.
Game week score. What's it going to be? What's the
63.
average? 63. Last week it was, what was it last week? It was, oh, the game is updating. You cannot see. Unlucky.
Too late.
All right, you are locked in. Your teams are locked in. That is it from us. I personally think that the average this week will be slightly less than what it was last week. Last week, the average, I'm pretty sure, was 66.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, it's going to be about 57 average this week.
Well, I say 63, you say 57. Let's see who's right.
Hot tip here, Mo Salah will be outscored by someone in my team this week. I said that a couple of weeks ago and it was true. Palmer beat him by a point. I just got a feeling Isaac could go ham today.
Yeah.
Then if he does, don't call the game off because I'll not have 11 players. But but it could be interesting. I think a lot of people are going to be in the same spot. They don't have 11 players this week if that games get called off. But realistically, a little bit of snow in England does not mean games get cancelled.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't be believing that at all. So I wouldn't be stressed about that. Lock in your teams. Well, if you haven't locked them in, they've already been locked in for you anyway. we will see you again. Unfortunately, next time I will be back in Australia, so Alan will be joining remotely. But it's been a pleasure doing these in live, in person. Hopefully, we'll be able to do a few more in the future when I'm back.
Yeah.
I will maybe be back in April, potentially, for
Oh.
a week or two.
In April?
Well, I'm thinking of going to Snowbombing Festival,
Nice.
and then I'm over this way anyway, so I might as well just come over and see if I can watch a game or two. But
Yeah, yeah.
we'll have to wait and see. If I go there, I will not be doing any videos that week because I'll be too busy partying and getting on the slopes. But that's miles away. I'll be back in Australia for Game Week 21 deadline stream. That'll be late night because it's a midweek deadline. It's Wednesday, I think.
Oh, is it?
So yeah, but the good news is that week I'm looking excited because Man United have Southampton. So we're probably going to lose against Liverpool. We're probably going to be out of the FA Cup against Arsenal next week. But at least we have Southampton to look forward to at home.
To turn it around.
That's surely got to be a win and hopefully a return for Bruno and Ahmad to form with some luck.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining. If you haven't already, please smash the subscribe button, like the video as well, and we'll see you all again soon. Thanks for joining us.